I'm going to talk to you about the clone stamp tool, brushes, and filters, which you're going to need for your next project. So these are covered in detail in the links that I posted. Some of them, the one on brushes, it goes really fast. And the whole part about layers, I think you're not going to understand, but I think you'll get the basic idea of it. So I'm not going to go into everything in detail. But anyway, this is the clone stamp tool right here. There's one trick to using it, and that again is something you can't see in this video because it's on the keyboard. I'm holding down the Option key, and see how the cursor changes? That is the source of what I want to clone. So this is going to be what I want to put somewhere else. So all I do is I hold down the Option key and I click once with the mouse, and then I think you'll understand this better when I go to paint. So now I'm painting, I lifted up my mouse, and now I'm just painting, but it's cloning the area that the Option clicked on. Okay, so and once again, I'm using the bracket keys on the keyboard to make my brush a little bit bigger. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, I'm holding down the Option key. Now I'm clicking, and then I'm lifting up, and then I'm drawing it again. Okay, so that's how you use the clone tool. So the trick is you hold down the Option key, you click with the mouse, and then you lift the mouse up and you go to paint it somewhere else, and there's a little cross on the screen that shows you where you're painting. Okay, so brushes can be applied to pretty much every tool because pretty much every tool uses a brush. Okay, so you can pick the foreground color is what you paint with, so you can pick that here. You can pick any color there. There's also a color palette that you get from Windows. See, it's right here. You choose color, and that brings this up. And this has different ways you can look at it. You can use RGB sliders, I like. You can use CMYK sliders. You can use whichever of these you like for now. I like RGB sliders, and then you can pick a color what you want. The foreground color is the one on top. Make sure that's selected. The background color, if you use the eraser, it erases to that. That's a little more complicated for right now. So I'm going to choose this purple because that's my favorite color, and then I'm just going to paint with it. I can make my brush bigger or smaller. Then I can choose some other colors. And in the video, he talks about transparency. So you can adjust the transparency. You can use these blending modes, which are really fun to experiment with on your own. They blend the color of your brush with the color that's underneath. So you can do all sorts of things like that. There's all these brush presets that you can use. There's tablets in the MATLAB that you can use. So this gives you a preview. Some of them have this preview. It shows you what you're doing. There's something called a mixing brush, which is really fun too. That mixes everything together. So when you go to this brush palette, which is also visible here through this window, you just click on brush, and then you get this. You can make your own brush. You click on one of these, and you can adjust all different things, all different stuff, and you can just experiment. When you click on the actual name, some of them have more sliders to adjust, so you can change all those things, and then you can see what it does. You can also make your own brush, which is in the video, and if you're interested in making your own brush, I would recommend Googling it, make your own brush in Photoshop. It will do that. So the last thing that I want you to learn and that you will be using is filters. So filters are a lot of fun, but the key to filters, once again, is selection. So you select something that you want, and then you go up to the menu that says filters, and you can choose some of these filters. Like you can make this into a color halftone, or you can select something else and just experiment with these. Pinch. Every single one works in a different way. So I've pinched it. I could just show you this endlessly, but it's a lot more fun to do it yourself. So I hope this gets you on the right track for this next project.